Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever been around a woman who made absolutely no sense to you? One moment she's warm, laughing at everything you say, leaning in when you speak, texting you back within seconds. And the next moment she's gone, cold, distant, short replies, like you imagined the whole thing. And you sit there, replaying every conversation, every look, every moment, trying to figure out what you did wrong. But here's the thing that keeps eating at you. The way she looked at you that one time before she quickly looked away, that wasn't nothing. The way she remembered that small thing you mentioned once, weeks ago, and brought it up like it was casual, that wasn't nothing either. Something doesn't add up, and deep down, you know it. So you start asking yourself, is she hiding something real? Or am I just seeing what I want to see? I'm going to answer that question today, completely, honestly, because the truth is, the most confusing woman in your life might also be the one who feels the most. And today, I'm going to give you 6 deep psychological signs that reveal a woman is genuinely, powerfully in love with you, but too terrified to let you see it. These aren't surface level tips. This goes into the psychology, the biology, the emotional architecture of how women experience love when it scares them. By the end of this video, you will never misread her behaviour the same way again. Stay with me, this is going to change how you see everything. Why women hide love, the psychology first. Before we get into the signs, you need to understand why this happens. Because without understanding the root, the signs won't make full sense. Here's the truth that most men have never been told. When a woman falls in love, genuinely falls, it doesn't feel like joy first. It feels like danger. Think about that for a second. For most women, love is not a safe place. It's a battlefield. It's the place where they've been the most vulnerable and, in many cases, the most hurt. Every woman who has ever loved deeply carries the memory of what happened the last time she gave her heart fully to someone. She remembers the moment she trusted completely and got burned. She remembers what it felt like to be seen and then left, to be chosen and then replaced. To open up completely and have that openness used against her. So when she starts feeling something real for you, when your presence starts affecting her in a way she can't control, her first instinct isn't to run toward you. Her first instinct is to protect herself. Because love, for a woman, isn't just emotional. It's a surrender of control. And control is the thing she spent years building back after the last time she lost it. When she loves, she loses the ability to stay composed. She loses the ability to pretend she doesn't care. She loses the carefully constructed emotional armour that keeps her safe, and that terrifies her more than heartbreak itself. This is why she pulls away. This is why she acts cold right after a warm moment. This is why she hides feelings that are already written all over her face. She's not confused. She's not playing games. She's at war with herself. Now let's talk about exactly how that war shows up in her behaviour in 6 specific signs. Sign has hone, she remembers the small things you've forgotten. This is the first sign, and it's one of the quietest, but one of the most revealing. She remembers the name of the restaurant you mentioned once in a passing conversation. She remembers the story you told about your childhood, the one you didn't even think was interesting. She remembers your favourite colour, the music you said you were listening to last month, the thing that made you laugh that one time. And when she brings it up, she does it casually. Almost like she's trying to hide the fact that she remembered it all. Didn't you say you liked that kind of food? Isn't that the song you mentioned before? Like it's nothing. Like she just happened to remember. But here's what you need to understand about how the human mind works. We don't store details about people we don't care about. Our brains are selective. We filter out noise and keep what matters. When someone's words stick in your memory, especially the small, forgettable ones, it's because your subconscious has already decided that person matters. A woman who's falling in love with you turns into a collector. She collects the fragments of your world, the little things you said, the way you laughed, the detail you threw out without thinking, because her heart is already building a picture of you that she's not ready to admit she's building. And she does it quietly. She does it carefully. Because if she's too obvious about it, you might see how much she's been paying attention. And that would mean admitting how much she cares. When you notice it, test it. Mention something small and forgettable. Come back to it weeks later. See if she remembers. If she does, she's invested in you far more than she's letting on. Sign #2, she gets warm and then suddenly pulls away. This one confuses men more than anything else. And it's the sign most likely to make you think she's not interested, when actually it means the opposite. You have an amazing conversation. The energy between you is electric. She's laughing freely, she's open, she's leaning in, she's present. Everything feels real and natural and easy. And then the next day, it's like talking to a stranger. Short replies. Distant energy. She seems distracted or even slightly cold. And you're sitting there wondering if you dreamed the whole thing. Here's exactly what's happening in her mind. In that warm, open moment, she felt herself getting too close. She let her guard down more than she planned to. She felt the connection deepening, felt herself enjoying your presence more than she felt safe enjoying. Her heart started to lean in, and then her fear woke up. Her fear said, "You're losing control. You're letting him in too fast. You're going to get hurt again." And so, almost automatically, almost instinctively, she built the wall back up. Not because she stopped feeling something, but because she felt too much. The coldness that follows warmth is not rejection. It is emotional recoil. It's what happens when a woman who's been hurt before starts to feel something real and her survival instinct kicks in. Think of it this way. If you'd been burned badly by fire before, and you suddenly felt heat, even pleasant warmth, your first instinct would be to step back. Not because the warmth is bad, but because you know what fire can do. That's what she's doing. She's stepping back from the warmth because she knows how badly it can burn. The key thing to watch, how quickly she comes back. Because she always comes back. A woman who doesn't care doesn't come back. A woman who's scared but in love, she circles back. Every time. Pay attention to that pattern. The pull away, and then the quiet return. That cycle is her heart in conversation with her fear. Real quick, if this content is making you think differently, if it's explaining something you've been trying to understand for a long time, hit that subscribe button right now. Every week we go deep into real psychology, real behaviour, real truth about how women love. You don't want to miss what's coming. Now, let's keep going. Sign #3, her eyes tell you what her words never will. There's a reason people say the eyes are the windows to the soul. Because you can control almost everything, your words, your posture, your expression, but you cannot fully control your eyes. And when a woman is in love with you, her eyes will betray her every single time. Here's what it looks like. You're talking, and you catch her looking at you, not a quick glance, but a real look. The kind where she's actually seeing you. And then the second your eyes meet hers, she looks away. Fast. Almost too fast. That's not disinterest. That's exposure panic. When her gaze meets yours for too long, she feels seen in a way that bypasses all her defences. Her emotions are visible in that moment, and she's not ready for you to see them. So she breaks contact before you can read what's there. But here's what you should watch that fraction of a second before she looks away. There's a stillness there, a pause, like her soul just took a breath. That pause is real. That pause is the truth she's hiding. You'll also notice the quality of her eye contact changes depending on the situation. In a group, she's fine, comfortable, confident. But when it's just the two of you, when she can't use other people as cover, her eyes become more careful, more guarded, and sometimes in a rare, unguarded moment, she'll hold the look just a little too long before catching herself. That's the moment she forgot to be afraid. That's the moment the real feeling slipped through. Don't make it obvious that you noticed. Just know what it means. Because in that split second, she showed you more than she'll say in months of conversation. Sign #4, she tests you without ever telling you it's a test. This is one of the most misunderstood behaviours in all of male-female dynamics. She does something that seems random, even contradictory, and you can't figure out the logic behind it. She shares something personal, then acts like she didn't. She creates a small conflict out of nowhere, then backs off. She mentions another man casually, then watches your face. It feels manipulative, it feels confusing, but here's the truth. She's not doing it to control you. She's doing it because she already cares about you, and she's terrified that caring is a mistake. When a woman has been hurt before, and most women have, she develops what I call emotional due diligence. Before she invests fully, before she allows herself to fall all the way, she needs to know that her heart is safe in your hands. And she can't ask you directly, because asking directly means admitting she cares, and she's not ready for that yet. So instead, she runs quiet tests. She shares something small but meaningful, a story from her past, a quiet fear, a small vulnerability, and she watches how you respond. Do you listen? Really listen? Do you minimize it? Do you make her feel judged? Do you use it as an opportunity to talk about yourself? She's studying you. She's taking notes. She might also test your consistency. She'll go quiet for a few days just to see if you reach out. Not because she wants to play games, but because she needs to know if your interest holds even when she's not performing for you. She might tease you in ways that carry hidden meaning, saying things that sound light on the surface but are actually small windows into how she feels. Here's the key. You don't pass these tests by being perfect. You pass them by being consistent, present, and emotionally calm, by not flinching when she shares something real, by showing up even when she goes quiet. Because she's not looking for a flawless man. She's looking for a safe one. And the moment you prove you can hold her vulnerability without dropping it, her walls come down. Quietly. Inevitably. Sign #5, she becomes your silent protector. Pay attention to this one because it's easy to miss. When a woman is falling in love with you, she starts quietly, instinctively protecting you, often without even realizing she's doing it. When someone in the room says something critical about you, watch her face. Does her expression tighten? Does she go slightly quiet? Does she push back, even softly, even with just a, I don't know, I think he's right about that? That's not just being nice. That's loyalty forming. She'll start noticing when you're stressed before you say anything. She'll check in on you in small ways, a message that seems random, but was really her way of saying, I'm thinking about you. She'll remember that thing you were worried about and ask how it went. She'll celebrate your wins like they're her own. She'll believe in your potential, even in the moments when you don't. And here's what makes this sign so powerful. It's completely involuntary. She's not deciding to protect you. She's not sitting down and thinking, I will now be his defender. It happens because her heart has already made a quiet decision that you matter. And when something matters to you, you protect it. This silent loyalty, this quiet, consistent showing up in small ways is one of the purest expressions of love there is, because it doesn't ask for anything in return. It doesn't announce itself. It just shows up. When you see this behaviour, understand what it means. She has already, on some level, chosen you. She just hasn't said it yet. We're almost at the final sign, and it might be the most important one of all. But before we get there, if this video is resonating with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And subscribe if you haven't yet, because what comes next might completely reframe the way you understand a woman's love. Sign #6, the more she feels, the more she hides. This is the paradox that breaks most men. And it's the sign that, if you miss it, will cost you something real. Common sense says the deeper she falls, the more she'll open up. The stronger her feelings, the more she'll show them. But female psychology doesn't work that way. Not when fear is in the picture. The truth is, the stronger her feelings grow, the harder she works to conceal them. Here's why. Love makes a woman feel exposed. When she loves deeply, her emotions become harder to manage. Her composure breaks down. Her carefully maintained emotional independence starts to crack. And all of that feels terrifying to a woman who has built her sense of safety on being in control of how much she feels. So, what does she do? She hides behind sarcasm. She becomes more casual, more detached, almost cooler than usual right at the point when she's feeling the most. She talks about other men not because she's interested in them, but to see if you'll react. To see if your attention is truly on her. She acts like she doesn't need you at the exact moment she's starting to need you most. She pretends she's fine without you while rereading your old messages for the 100th time. And here's the deepest layer of this sign. A woman at this stage doesn't just fear that you'll leave. She fears that you'll stay and then eventually see who she really is, the full depth of her emotion, the raw intensity of how she feels, and decide it's too much. She's been told her whole life that being too emotional is a flaw, that loving too deeply makes you weak, that needing someone gives them power over you. So she hides, not because she doesn't love you, but because she loves you with a depth that frightens even her. And the paradox is this: the colder she seems, the more carefully you should look, because that coldness is often just a cover for a fire she doesn't know how to hold. When you understand this, the mixed signals stop feeling like confusion. They start feeling like what they really are, a woman trying desperately to protect a feeling she's terrified to lose. The turning point when she finally lets you in. Now I want to tell you about what happens when she stops running. Because eventually, if you stay consistent, if you don't punish her for her fear, if you don't pressure her to open up on your timeline, if you simply keep showing up, something shifts. It doesn't happen dramatically. It doesn't come with a big confession or a grand emotional moment. It comes quietly. One day, her energy is just different. The tension, you always felt that invisible wall between warmth and distance, it starts to soften. Her laughter becomes freer. Her eye contact holds longer. She stops deflecting when you get close. She starts including you in her world in small ways. She mentions you to people she cares about. She starts imagining a future that has you in it, not in a fantasy way, but in the quiet, practical way that means her heart has already decided. She'll start saying things she never let herself say before. I missed you. I was thinking about you. I'm glad you're here. Not because she's trying to trap you or manipulate you, but because she finally feels safe enough to be honest. And when that moment comes, understand the weight of it. You're not just being loved, you're being trusted. Trusted with her history, her scars, her fear, and now her hope. That is a sacred thing, and it deserves to be treated that way. Let me leave you with this. A woman who is scared to show love is not a broken woman. She is not a difficult woman. She is not a woman playing games. She is a woman who has loved before, who has been hurt before, and who is trying with every confusing mixed signal and every moment of cold distance to figure out if this time is different. She is asking you a question over and over again in 100 different ways without ever using words. Are you safe? Can I trust you? Will you stay? And the answer she's looking for isn't what you say. It's what you do, consistently, quietly, over time. The man who earns a scared woman's love is never the loudest in the room. He's not the most charming or the most perfect. He's the one who sees her fear and doesn't run from it. He's the one who stays steady when she pushes. He's the one whose presence becomes, slowly, the safest place she's ever known. If you can be that man, patient, consistent, emotionally grounded, you won't just win her affection. You'll earn her devotion. And a woman's devotion, when it's real, when it's finally free from fear, there is nothing in this world quite like it. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced this? Have you ever had a woman show you love through her distance, through her silence, through her fear, and only understood it later when it was too late or just in time? Tell me in the comments right now. Your story matters, and it might be exactly what another man needs to read to understand what he's been missing. If this video spoke to something real in you, like it. It takes 1 second and it helps more people find this content. Share it with a man in your life who's confused about a woman right now. You might change how he sees everything. And subscribe because every single week we go deeper into the real psychology behind love, attraction, and human behaviour. The kind of truth most people are too afraid to talk about. I'll see you in the next one.